So
I don't know what's going on.
Another Triple H and Shawn Michaels segment. And, between this segment and Sergeant Slaughter, they're kind of really winding it down now. I mean, this is like, what, the third segment already?
Yep.
And Shawn Michaels is still not convinced to join Triple H. So the next match is MVP versus the Masterpiece, Chris Masters. MVP wins the match with the Playmaker. But Swagger comes out, distracts MVP. That enables to get Chris Masters to get the Master Lock on MVP, and he tells him to let him go. And he does the gut-wrench power bomb on him, and that was that match.
Right. But I like this. This whole match was just nice. I mean, just seeing Chris Masters back was one thing good. And then just the way they're doing this feud between Swagger and MVP, they're not banging with each other every week. You know what I mean?
No, they're
not. It's
not.
nice to see them do their own thing and then kind of meet and then go towards the pay-per-view. I mean, this is the way you're supposed to do a feud. Yeah. And I like this.
Well, you're going to see this feud unfold over on SummerSlam. Summerfest.
Right. Summerfest.
So, anyway, the next segment right after that is the DX segment, and which is pretty much the last segment, I believe. Let me check my notes here. Yep. So anyway, I guess it was Shawn Michaels' boss coming out and yelling at him, calling him Hickenbottom, which is Shawn Michaels' real last name. Triple H says, "Hey, look, come on, I need you and DX needs you at SummerSlam." Shawn Michaels, we've been making fun of the whole Summerfest bit. Well, anyway, Shawn Michaels said he thought it was Summerfest. And that's when the boss comes out and yelling out Hickenbottom and stuff like that. So he goes ahead and he couldn't take it no more, and he sweet chin music's the boss. He went ahead and he said he had one more unfinished business to do, and that was the little girl you can hear in the background screaming and kicking, saying that she didn't like the food, that she was the daughter of the VP or vice president, and she was going to have him fired. And the camera pans away from the little girl so Shawn Michaels can fake a sweet chin music to the little girl. And all you see is like lettuce flying everywhere. And you hear the girl scream, that's about it. But, they kind of run that segment down a little bit too much. A little bit too much airtime for me. But, speaking about too much airtime, the Sarge comes back out. And he apologizes to the crowd.
Right.
And he went ahead and said that he had somebody special there, that this was going to put everybody all happy with him, and again, I hate to see this done, because ever since Bret Hart left the WWE, that Monday Night Raw, the following, they went ahead and played his music like if he was going to come down, and it was Shawn Michaels and Triple H with a midget Bret Hart. But ever since then, they've been teasing the crowd and teasing the crowd and teasing the crowd of Bret Hart's return. And this time, they did it again because they were in Calgary.
It was great.
And the fans fell for it. Again, it's not Canada's fault. It's not the Canadians' fault, because they're so loyal to their wrestlers.
Yeah, man,
they don't think twice. But instead of Bret Hart, it was Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Yeah.
Which we haven't seen in a while.
Yeah.
So, but
it was good though. It made sense, Hacksaw.
Well, let me tell you this.
Slaughter. So they played that out really well. I was laughing my ass off. It was great.
Well, let me tell you this. We've been saying week in and week out that they have these Hollywood people coming in, messing up SummerSlam with Summerfest.
Right.
They're having it just, what they have now. Next week they're going to have Freddie Prinze Jr.
You know what, man? Didn't I text you the minute I saw that?
Yeah, but
I almost choked on my dinner. I was like, "What the hell just happened?"
Freddie Prinze Jr. What the hell can he possibly promote that has anything to be relevant with wrestling?
I can't even remember a movie he was in, man.
I
What
do.
is
It was
like,
Scooby Doo.
He's all that. Oh, Scooby Doo. What is it? A Scooby Doo reunion? Since everyone's doing reunions now.
But
What is that? I was in shock, man. I was like,
But look-
how do you go from Shaquille O'Neal, Sergeant Slaughter to this punk?
Well, Sergeant Slaughter was a great idea. I've been saying it week
Sergeant
after
Slaughter's
week.
good.
I've been saying it week after week after week that they should.
But you see my point. They had a bunch of they had some Hollywood people that just messed up the show. Then they went to Shaq, and then like, whoa, this was good. Then they went to what's his name, Piven, right?
Right.
And then it went back down. Then they bring Sergeant Slaughter. Now we're back up. Now you bring in Freddie Prinze Jr. Now we're way at the bottom. I mean, what's going on over there in WWE? I don't know what the hell is going on.
Well,
How
let
are
me-
you bringing this dude.
Well, let me
What is he gonna do?
let me tell you this. When you mentioned about Sergeant Slaughter, when we heard about him going to be hosting Raw, it was back up, right?
Right.
Well, it was way down with me because you know what? They miss you. They have a great idea. They have a great product in front of them. You bring in, instead of these Hollywood BS guys, right?
Right.
I have to watch my language because this is getting me a little bit upset. But they have a great product, a great idea, and I've been saying week in and week out that they need to bring their old wrestlers back, the old legends, the old wrestlers back in the day. I mean, I'll be happy if they bring back the Bushwhackers for a host of Raw.
I can care less as long as it's WWE. You know what I mean? I'm tired of Hollywood, man. I'm tired of these people, man. They don't fit there. They don't belong here. Let them get the front row tickets, whatever they got to do. Let them wave on the camera. Let them have the football players there wave, whatever. But don't host a show. It just sucks, man.
Well, they went ahead and they went back to a legend, which is Sergeant Slaughter. Now, that was a great idea. But, like you said earlier, they didn't use Slaughter at all. But just to make
Well, you know what? They
fun of the
really
fans.
didn't use him they didn't really use him in storylines, which we talked about this earlier today, too, about how you have to be careful how you use these guys in storylines because some of these guys might not last in a fight, or it depends on their condition and all that.
Well,
but
they don't have to fight. That's the thing.
you know what I mean. I mean, they're afraid that it gets so big, or it could get so big that the fans might want it. You know what I mean? I don't want it to be like that. I don't want it to be where like you think Sergeant Slaughter can come right back. Who knows? But I'm just trying to say that is that the way they brought him back worked. They brought him in Canada. He pissed off the crowd, and it worked. If they can continue to do that kind of stuff with classic superstars, I think it can get a lot better. I mean, like your idea with Demolition, you bring those guys back. Those are the type of guys I wouldn't mind seeing kind of do a little brawling or pushing some superstars, because they're tough like that. But Sergeant Slaughter, the way he did it was America versus Canada kind of thing. That was great. I mean, if they can continue to change stories like that for these classic superstars, it's going to work out.
I don't even care if it was the Bushwhackers. Really, I don't.
Like the Bushwhackers, if they came out and were just messing with people, like trying to lick their heads and stuff like that, I would love that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's that they would have to do all these crazy different things depending on the character. And that's the kind of stuff, man, I just would like to see again. This Hollywood stuff is just ruining it, man.
You know who I would like to see host Raw out of nowhere? The French Canadian himself. He should have been the host last Monday Night Raw since they were in in Canada, which is Rick the Model Martel.
Imagine that if he was sitting there with a little spray bottle. When someone comes up to talk to him, he just spray it in your face.
Yeah,
and said, "I'm on the phone here. Come back later."
Again,
stuff like that would be great, man.
I wouldn't mind seeing Tito Santana. I mean, he's right there.
They could have said, they could have made fun of him. Like someone could have made fun of him and say, you know what? At least I didn't have a blindfold match, and make it sound like it was a dumb match. And then he makes them wrestle in that match tonight.
Yeah, I mean,
stuff like that works because you have a history. And then you can bring it in with the new crowd, and you're bringing old fans and new fans together. This Hollywood stuff is bringing strangers into the business, which I understand because it's gonna possibly bringing you in some money from new fans. Who knows? But that's a big risk to take on your loyal fans who are just probably not falling for this crap.
Well, that would have definitely worked with Chavo when he was blindfolded going against Hornswoggle.
And they probably would have done it.
Yeah, well, then again, it's WWE and it's too simple. They don't listen to us, and this is what this show is all about.